In this final video of the series, I'll be demonstrating different ways you can experiment with Obsession for Windows. At best, these tricks are going to allow you to mess around or try out different strategies, or different combinations of tiles and cards. But at worst, you could easily use these tricks and techniques to crash the game. So any bugs that arise due to the use of what I'm about to show you, they don't count. I don't guarantee what might happen to the program if you misuse any of the following cheats. Worst case will be your game will simply stop functioning and won't load, so you'll have to start a new game, that's all. But like I said, my program doesn't check to see if you're doing something illegal or impossible here, so any bugs that do come about as a result of modifying a game this way just aren't covered by my warranty. In general, you can control right click just about anything or anywhere in the game to change or add something. For example, you can control right click here below the main gazebo and add the fence paddock. You control right click the fence paddock and change it to the flower room. You can control right click up here in the header to say add the garden maze. You can control right click and select X to delete a tile. Although you can't delete one of your starter tiles, you could change it to something else. You can control right click the round to advance it, or control left click the round to decrease it. You can bring up the builder's market and change a tile there. For example, I could change the renovated kitchen and make it the Queen Suite instead. Or I could change the Queen Suite and make it the largest wine cellar. I could change the tennis court and make it the main library. Change the housekeeper's room and make it the West Saloon. If you do make a change while it's round one, then the builder's market reorders itself based on the tile sorting number. You can control right click a card in your hand to change it. The cards in this list display the casual guests first, followed by the prestige guests, followed by all the family members. So I can change Charlotte Wood here if I really wanted to and make her John Wessex of the Wessex family. I could change Walter Dalrymple and turn him into a prestige guest, Agnes Easton. I could control right click over here in the white space to the right of my hand, or if a black bar was visible, I could control right click on the black bar to add a card to my hand. Say Mary Shelton. The same way, I can control right click an objective card in my hand, or I could control right click in the white space to the right of the objective cards and add an objective card that I shouldn't have. I can control right click, go to the bottom of the list, click X, and delete that card. Same goes for my hand. Right click and delete. I don't think my program is going to let you delete. No, it'll even let you delete one of your own family cards. So yeah, you can do just about anything. In the theme card area up here, you can control right click a revealed theme card to change it, say to Prestige, or you can control right click in the white space in the theme card area to change the theme card on the top of the deck. So the next theme card to be revealed will now be Essentials, not Sporting. You can control right click an available service to add a servant, say another head housemaid or a useful man. You can control right click on a servant in available service and delete that servant. If your discard pile or VP card list isn't showing, just double click in that area, and then you can control right click in the discard pile to add a card there. You can click a card in the discard pile, then control right click it to change it to somebody else. You can control right click in the VP card list and give yourself a VP card. Or you could click a VP card in the list, control right click it, and change it to something else. Well, actually in that case it added it. I think VP cards always get added. So you can control right click and delete a VP card if you want. Like so. You can bring up the milestones and change a milestone by control right clicking. You could in fact control right click your family crest to change your family, but I honestly don't see any practical reason why you'd ever want to do that, because your family only affects what happens at the very start of the game. What else? You could bring up the round track and control right click on the VP card deck to change the card that's on the top of the deck. You can control right click the theme cards to change what's on top of the deck there. And there are probably some other things you can control right click that I'm not thinking about, but as you can see, you can control right click just about anything. Now, when you do control right click, you get a list of what's applicable to what you're changing or adding. You simply double click the item that you want to add or change, or you can right click or hit escape to simply cancel. Like that. I can add the North Tower. I can right click on the North Tower and delete it. These sort obviously in ascending order unless this checkbox is turned on. And I could remove all my tiles from any one category. I suppose that's even possible. On the subject of shift control, things that you can do. You can control shift a tile on the builder's market to create a duplicate of it, or control shift again to remove a duplicate. You can control shift a tile in your organizer to flip it to its other side. On the subject of control clicking, to change values, you can control right click your reputation to increase it by 1 step. You can control left click your reputation to decrease it by 1 step. You can control shift right click your reputation to increase it by 3 steps. You can control shift left click to decrease it by 3 steps. Control right click your pounds to increase it by 100. Control left click your pounds to decrease it by 100. Control shift right click to increase your pounds by 500. So you can give yourself lots of money if you want. Or control shift left click to decrease by 500 pounds. And take away all your money. You can't go below 0, however. Oh, and in reputation, you can shift right click your reputation to give yourself 5 more steps of reputation. This effectively just changing the large number in the center. Shift left click to decrease your family's reputation. Now this won't let you go above your theoretical maximum. So in this case, I can get as high as 7.5, because I'm playing a standard game, but I can't go any higher than that. And similarly, I can go all the way back down to 1.1, but I can't go any lower than that. You can control, click, and drag a servant from one type of service, from one box to another, so I can make that, move that valid into servants' quarters. I could move my head housemaid into expended service, or I could decide to bring my head housemaid back and bring it back into available service. And like I said, there's probably other things you could do as well that I'm not thinking of. If you control right click here, anything? Oh, you can control right click your money over here and increase it by 100 pounds. You could probably control shift right click and increase it by 500 pounds. Yes, there's probably other things you can do. Just experiment to your heart's content. But if you blow up the program, sorry, don't call me. Don't go too crazy. Otherwise, you may end up having to restore or start a new game entirely. That pretty much wraps up this series of videos. I hope I kept them short and sweet enough. Said there are other things you can do, and you'll discover some of them as you play the game. But most of all, I hope you enjoy playing and using Obsession for Windows. Thanks so much, and let me know if you have any suggestions, thoughts, or comments. Bye for now.